Same identities, same assignment.
We're going back to high school?
You look like you're about 50. You're going to MC State. Somebody's out there, they're cooking up a new drug. It's Adderall mixed with ecstasy, mixed with God knows what.
Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum go back to college in 22 Jump Street, and your movie friend Aaron Dicer is here to tell us all about this follow-up to the TV parody smash. Thanks for joining us, Aaron.
You're very welcome. So we're getting started with 22 Jump Street.
That's right.
It is Father's Day weekend, so in reviewing this movie, sometimes I kind of feel like a dad because this movie is really funny, but I just want to give it that speech where, like, you've got so much potential. You can do so much more than just be funny. Yeah, exactly. So overall, yeah, this is a really funny movie, but you know, I do feel like there's some missed opportunities for potential in this one.
Right. And does it start where the original one left off, or have the main characters matured?
Well, they kind of go into the second film where they go into college instead of high school, and they go kind of undercover. And really, that's one of the things about the movie. It's kind of the same plot as the first one. In fact, the movie itself, which is very self-referential, you know, it understands kind of its own humor. It makes fun of the fact that it's, you know, kind of doing the same thing over and over and over again. So, and at the same time, that doesn't actually excuse it. You know what I mean? Like, you can make fun of yourself, but if you've got those problems, maybe you should, you know, try something new or do something different.
Right. And rated R, so does it get pretty vulgar?
Yeah, it does. And if you saw the first one, it's very similar to that. 21 Jump Street was that kind of raunchy rated R comedy. This is very much the same way. Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum are great together in this. Their chemistry is absolutely amazing. I think they make the humor work. These guys together are really, really good.
Okay. And so what would you say the best thing and the worst thing?
Best thing, worst thing? Yeah, best thing. Like I said, it's Jonah and Channing. Maybe we should give them like a combined name, like Joning maybe, or Channa, something like that. Whatever. They're great together. They're the best thing about the movie. As far as the worst thing goes, I said short sale, and what I mean by that is they sell themselves short. I think this movie, if it wanted to have some depth and some real emotion to it, it could, but they're very content just being, just come and laugh, have a good time, and I guess at the end of the day, that's okay. Overall, for me, that makes it about a B. Okay,
about a B. And then we have another one, a sequel, but a very different type of film. A dragon rider faces his greatest challenge in How to Train Your Dragon 2. Now, what about this one? Is it as good as the first?
Oh, it's better.
Awesome.
This movie is incredible. I'm going to sound like a raving lunatic talking about this movie. I loved How to Train Your Dragon 2 on every level. You know, the music, the animation, the acting, the action, the depth, the emotion, the heart. It just kind of nails everything in this one. And I think it's as good, if not better, than the first. And I loved the first.
Yeah.
This movie turns me into like a giddy schoolboy. I'm giggling in the theater from those flying scenes where he's riding the dragon. I just, you know, it turns me into something else. It transforms me, this giant man, into like a giggling child.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, well,
and where does
it's dark
this
in
one...
there. Nobody gets to see it. It's just me.
Where does this one pick up? Kind of right where the other left off?
No, they actually take this 5 years down the road, which I think is the perfect choice for this because it allows it to exist in this universe that feels like our universe. Like we're catching up with them where they would be after the first one. Plus, it gives them new things to deal with, and there's really a sense of depth and transition that has happened in the movie. So I love that it picks up about 4 or 5 years later.
Very cool. And it's rated PG. What would you say? Would you want to take your toddler to see this?
Oh, a toddler, if they're scared by, you know, big scary beasts, maybe not. And there's not a lot of violence per se. It's just a lot of action and fighting.
Yeah.
But if they are scared by that, you know, a toddler might get a little bit frightened. But it's kind of comes and goes pretty quickly. As far as anything over kind of 5 years old, yeah, I'd say it's right up their alley. It's really, really good.
Very cool. And what about your best thing, worst thing, and overall grade?
Best thing, I said flight and fight. I love the action scenes in this, and those flight scenes on the dragons are just spectacular. In IMAX 3D is how we saw it, and just that huge screen is incredible. As far as worst thing, I didn't really have one, so I said trailer trashed, and what I mean by that is I think it gives too much away in the trailer.
Yeah.
I think I would have much rather seen a lot of these plot developments happen inside the movie rather than knowing them ahead of time. That's not really the movie's fault, but at the same time it is something.
A lot of trailers do that, huh?
And get ready, this is a first. I'm giving this an A+. Very first A+.
Oh, awesome.
It deserves it. How to Train Your Dragon 2 is the best movie I've seen this year. It's absolutely incredible.
So cool.
So, yeah.
All right. Great recommendation. Thanks, Aaron. Well, don't go anywhere. If you have to get something to do for Father's Day, Jeremy, Rabe, and Sarah are here to save the day with the perfect present for Dad.